Thank you for the privilege of speaking to you. I wasn't exactly sure how the agenda was going to be, so I actually checked both yes and no. But let me read some prepared thoughts that I have. I prepared these and put them down this afternoon. To go to referendum or not to go to the ballot, that is the question to murder an old bard's writing. From the first I heard the city wanting to get in the ambulance business last summer, I felt it was a very bad idea. It became apparent that the mayor was not about to change his stance on this issue, and so a number of us decided that direct legislation was the only solution to protect not only the people of the city, but the county and surrounding areas. And that is one of the big reasons that we became involved, is because it affects far beyond the city. My understanding of the state statute, and we've researched it quite well, is that either you approve it, then the issue is taken care of, or you do nothing and then it goes to ballot. You have only two choices. If you reject it, it's the same as doing nothing. Citizens for Responsible Government and others who have worked with us getting the petition signed found overwhelming support with our position that the city should not destroy an excellent, well-run private business that was operating with no tax dollars. Mid-December, Mr. Harnden, I didn't have time to review with him before, but he says this may not be exactly right, but I think it is, called me to suggest he felt it was time to end this mess and asked for support in suggesting the council approve our petition and that would not have it go on the ballot in April. As it has been my rifle aim, and I have put everything else aside just to work on this question, to stop the city from messing with the ambulance business, I agree. Wisely, I must say, the council decided to defer the decision until January to give more time for thought on it. It did have a very positive effect and gave the question some airing, and I was able to advise the council that, strange as it may seem, adding paramedics reduces care patients get rather than enhancing it, and I refer you to the Milwaukee experience with their adding of paramedics. I must add here, too, that Tri-State has 3 times the cardiac survival rate of the national average. They are just doing a super excellent job. Since that time, I have had numerous phone calls from CRG members and the general public noting that the people have signed the petition with a desire to have a chance to vote on it. We, CRG, had a meeting last night and after considerable discussion voted to advise the council that those who contacted us clearly indicated that the issue should be on the ballot. Some have argued that this is a Republican, small r, form of government, and those who are elected to represent us need to stand up and be counted for or against, pure and simple, with the issue at hand. They noted that sending it to the voters without noting their stand on the issue was a cop-out. Others felt the city needed to be advised directly by the voters that they did not want to have the city involved in destroying a private business that is doing such a fine job. It was suggested that the city would save money by having the council approve the district direct legislation. But again, the input that was very small, probably less than $3,000, is well worth having the voters' voice in this very important matter. In light of the above, and as endorsed by the CRG members, I'm now asking the council to not accept the petition and allow the voters to decide the issue by voting in April. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'd be open to questions.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, sir. I have for me 2 more waiting to speak. Next I have is Nick Eastman, 800 West Avenue North, for sale, waiting to speak in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here to speak in support of adopting the resolution put forth to the council by the citizens of La Crosse. As someone who not only collected signatures for the petition, but as someone who works on the front lines of this issue every single day, I'm continuously reminded of the opposition, the very strong opposition to a city-run ambulance service. By adopting the resolution before you, you're making a statement that the will of the people is being served by its elected officials. A city-run ambulance service is not in the best interest of the citizens of not only La Crosse, but of the entire region. When considering this, we must first and foremost consider the clinical issues posed by a fire-based ambulance, and secondly, the financial concerns. Clinical proficiencies will not only be difficult to obtain by the fire department paramedics, but will likely decline for tri-state paramedics as well. Proficiency in critical skills is gained only by experience and utilization. For example, if a fire department ambulance assumed only 20% of tri-state's current call volume, those paramedics would be utilizing their skills 80% less than we paramedics at tri-state are today. Tri-state paramedics would subsequently lose those opportunities taken by the fire paramedics. A regional delivery model will be fractured. This regional delivery model has two benefits. Paramedics are well utilized due to a high number of patient contacts per year, and services can be provided without taxpayer subsidy due to a large customer base. In fact, on December 5th, the La Crosse Fire Department forwarded an article highlighting the City of Eau Claire's 2008 Good Government Award. Paragraph 2 of that article reads, quote, "Eau Claire was cited for its leadership in establishing a regional emergency medical response system in cooperation with another city, 9 towns, and 3 local hospitals." End quote. This article goes on to point out that taxpayer dollars and hospital grants are funding the venture. Tri-State Ambulance currently provides an exceptional regional service without any taxpayer subsidy. Taxpayer risk is created where it should not exist. Tri-State Ambulance's current financial operations rely solely on user fees, not taxpayer subsidy. The cost of operation is borne exclusively by those who utilize transport services. Consequently, charity care and non-payment calls cost the average taxpayer not a single dollar. By including transport services in the public sector, the city would not only be accepting the financial burden of significant operation costs, but also the financial risk of charity care and non-payment calls. In today's economic climate, these non-reimbursed operations are likely to increase. While the issue of a city-run ambulance has come to the forefront, it truly overshadows both the enhancements that have been made and the enhancements that should be made to emergency medical services in the Coulee region. By adopting the resolution, you're making a statement that you're ready to work for real enhancements to the EMS system, like regional oversight, integrated quality assurance that starts in dispatch and ends in the emergency room, and community-wide prevention programs like CPR training programs. Adopting the resolution tonight is not stifling the referendum process. This is the process. The course of action gives the council the opportunity to adopt a resolution put forward by the certified electorate. By adopting the resolution, you're making many statements. The most important being that the council recognizes that the people have brought forth good policy, that this council accepts the will of the people, and that this council is ready to work with its neighbors to ensure the region receives the best possible emergency medical services. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, sir. And our last speaker is